There are so many people who are in relationships with people they don't even like because they're afraid of being alone. And that stems from the belief that success or winning in life means not being alone. No, success means you love your energy so much that you are attracting people to you instead of desperately chasing, and you don't abandon yourself to find love anymore. If you are new here, I am Angie, the Inner Glow Coach, and I help women stop chasing love and approval and start radiating it from within. And this is video 3 of a 4-part series on ending the audition, dating from inner glow, not external validation. So if you haven't watched the first 2 videos, I recommend watching those first, and also stay until the end because each video in this series has an actionable step that you can implement in your everyday life to start creating these new behaviors which will reinforce the new empowering beliefs. And I do this work because I used to be the woman who chased love and approval. I was a textbook people pleaser and perfectionist, always looking in everything outside of myself to prove my worth. And especially with dating and relationships, I was always doing things to get them to like me. And I would never even ask myself, do I like them? And I was chronically exhausted, anxious, and depressed. And that is putting it lightly. And after my emotional rock bottom, I decided to stop being a victim to life circumstances and to start living my life differently. And I remember there was a time when people would say things like, life is happening for me, not to me. And I would roll my eyes because I thought it was bull. But when I switched out of that victim mentality, because things can happen to you, but you are accountable for moving forward despite those things. And so once I started taking accountability for my life like that, I naturally started attracting the happiness and the fulfillment I had always dreamed of because I was rekindling my inner glow and effortlessly attracting opportunities and relationships and experiences into my life. And now I help other women do the same. And a lot of women come to me after a divorce or breakup, which is what inspired me to create this series, because I see so many people who want to be in a relationship because they don't want to be alone with themselves. And I talked about in my last video why this is so dangerous, but the short version is until you heal yourself, you will go around hurting other people and yourself. So don't drag other people or yourself into your childhood drama because this is how toxic relationships develop. And again, you are accountable for healing your own wounds. And I have been in toxic relationships, and I already know a lot of you have as well. So we already know how horrible that is. So let's talk about something that nobody teaches us, and that is post-date anxiety is not chemistry. Like maybe you have butterflies or that like obsessive overthinking or that intense, I need to know where this is going feeling or putting a label on it. That is not connection. That's your nervous system reacting to familiarity because you probably came from a chaotic household or a household with emotional intensity. So that intensity, it's often mistaken for intimacy. But real connection, it feels calm, it feels present, it feels grounded, and you feel free to be who you are so you don't have that urge to perform or be something that you're not. And this is the hard part because when you're used to self betrayal, emotional chaos, or toxic relationships, calm can feel boring because your body has learned that love equals activation. And I mentioned in my other videos about my client, she came to me divorced and she was in that energy of external approval addiction and chasing after love. But we went through my glow method and we worked on changing her behaviors, reprogramming her beliefs, and creating a regular practice of regulating her nervous system and feeling safe in her body while she was feeling her feelings. So on her first date, after it was someone new, it was her first date, instead of spiraling, instead of freaking out if he liked her or not, she noticed something. She felt calm. And best of all, she didn't have that self-abandonment hangover. And it did feel weird to her because she was used to that anxiety and not feeling calm. But she didn't immediately label it as like wrong or boring. She just noticed it was different. And you've probably heard me say on other videos, awareness is so important. And after going through her thought process, she realized she didn't win because he liked her. And at that point, she wasn't even sure how he felt about her because it was their first date. But she had already felt like she won because she didn't abandon herself and she wasn't performing to be chosen. And her feeling that sense of pride about not abandoning herself felt so much better than chasing and losing herself that it was motivated her to continue dating this way. And that is self-trust forming in real time. So the real win in dating is not being chosen, it's staying present with yourself and being who you really are, even when there's attraction and even when there's uncertainty. Because the woman that you're becoming doesn't hide who she is to be chosen. She has standards without needing to be perfect. And when you are in that energy, I am telling you, love comes to you. So here is your action step for this video. On a date, or again, this isn't just exclusive to dating, so you can use this in other situations, but ask yourself, do I like them? Are they a good fit for my life? Do I feel calm or reactive? And this is where self-trust starts forming because you're not focused on being chosen, you're focused on choosing yourself. And another way to practice this is with friendships because, and I could go on a whole tangent with this, and I actually might make a whole separate playlist on this, but with friendships, for whatever reason, they're not valued the same as relationships, so they can become very toxic, but it doesn't even occur to us to end the friendship because friendship breakups, they're not talked about. You don't even really think it's a thing. And trust me, it is a thing, and you should be doing it if you have toxic friends. But another, again, I can go on a whole tangent, but another good area to practice this in, if you're not practicing it in dating, is when you're with someone, do I even like them? Are they a good fit for me? Because the truth is, we do sometimes outgrow friendships, but we don't even realize it because it's become comfortable and a habit. So yeah, I actually might make another playlist on that. But in the final video of this series, we are moving into embodiment, meaning what it actually looks like to live your day-to-day life from this self-concept consistently, and how I work with women to turn this shift into lasting change. So I will see you on the next video.